Oh man, I can. Sorry, I have ink from my horoscope on my hands because I've been gripping it so much. I am already buzzing from this energy that we've got coming up this week. It's going to be a lot easier because we're moving into more optimistic sign with the sun ingressing to Leo. It's at 29 degrees Cancer right now. Oh, I believe that was on the ascendant at the first quarter moon like a week ago that created all of this chaos for Donald this week. And that was in between eclipses. And even though we had the new moon eclipse and this is the full moon eclipse, it still carries the eclipse energy for a full lunation. So even though we're like, yeah, those eclipses are long gone, no. That energy still has to touch every single sign in the zodiac until it gets back to the new moon in Leo, and then usually something pops and clicks right when that happens. But the new moon in Leo isn't for another week or so. But anyway, just so you know, the moon in Washington, D.C. has moved under the lower heaven, you know, where everything's bearing down, and it's going into the fourth house. It's in a fire sign that's going to trine Mercury, Mars, the ascendant, Jupiter. That's where all this good feeling, expansive energy is coming from. This tends to make Donald more impulsive, over-deliver, stick his foot in his mouth, which is just fine by me. This energy just feels really, really good. And I keep seeing Nancy Pelosi smiling. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but there's a real sense of optimism on her end that I haven't felt or seen in a long time. So, as I continue with the check-ins, one last thing. We are in an eclipse click point from the January 21st full moon eclipse. Remember, that was the eclipse that I said was the beginning of the end of Trump's inauguration. I don't know what video that is, but if you see Trump inauguration eclipse, that explains beginning of the end. And today we're in a click point because the sun and Mercury are an exact square to Uranus, where it was in the chart then. Uranus is the planet of unexpected shake-up, shocking news, information. It's like that shocking energy that's behind earthquakes, from sudden attacks or just things that kind of like take your breath away. It's squaring that. So we might be seeing things pop tomorrow. And so I want to continue with my check-ins. We're just going to check in with everyone all night long. Seriously, my body is just buzzing off this energy. I love it. Okay, let's check in with Jared and Ivanka. How are they doing? We want to know what Jared's plans are for this week. What is he mostly focused on this week? Like, what are his plans? How does he want everything to go this week? Okay, so cut the deck. What do we have on the bottom here? The world. So we're talking about world issues, world elections. The Koch brothers are often associated with this. And, okay, no. Okay, so the signifier, Jared, this week, what are you working on? The election. Gee, you know, Nancy Pelosi had that as her card of the reading. Huh, crazy. It's like they're in tandem or something. What's covering this? King of Wands. Now this can be Adam Schiff. It can be angry Putin. It can be MBS or UAE. Who is this? Is this Schiff? No. MBS. Ooh. UAE. Ooh. Angry Putin. Not as much. Okay, so what we're finding out with Nader, from Nader last week, is how much he was involved and also working with zamel with their election interference. And you know what? And MBS and the Saudis and UAE have shown up a lot more recently for me with hacking and working in coordination with Russia and Kim Jong-un. So this feels more from the Middle East. So Jared, elections, the Middle East. The challenge is the Knight of Cups, the offers that were made. Knight of Cups, is this Donald with, oh my gosh, I got Donald off of this because this is Donald's card when he's like interfering behind the scenes and trying to bribe people or make offers, do this, do that. Whoa. At the base of this, we have 10 swords in his back, Donald. This is what's on Jared's mind this week. What's crowning Jared this week? Paul Manafort and his campaign, and what Paul Manafort led the win no matter what and the information war. He replicated that here in the past. Jared was a spy and or providing spying-esque activities for U.S. intelligence. What's to come from that? Fate. It's time. It's time, or it had to do with the timing of election interference, like that whole thing with the Access Hollywood tapes, and then the release of emails, etc., etc., etc. How do we see Jared? That doesn't feel right. How do we see Jared? With the Republican Party, the environment, the Trump dynasty. What are your hopes, Jared, this week? Your hopes. Ooh, clamming up. Okay, what are your hopes? Three of Swords. This is his hope. Heartbreak. So either this is like heartbreak over the 2016 election. Probably. He's hoping that comes out with Mueller. You guys, pay attention. Get off social media this week. Okay. He fears this week. That doesn't feel right. He fears Temperance. He fears cooperating. There's also an aspect to this that has to do with like the machine, the Six Wands mob, and Putin, about how they lie and delicately say things and do other things, and they do that with information, and they do that with data, and then they do that with one another on, well, it's kind of like how Cohen said Trump's talks. And you know what? All those MAGAs, they all know it. He doesn't mean what he says. That also falls under there. So he, I think, fears the negative aspect of that. What's ideal, Jared, to come this week? Information about Julian Assange with the election, timing with how Julian Assange did that. Julian Assange was a spy. Julian Assange had payments go to Trump and to the GOP. Oh man, I hope this happens this week. What's to come for Jared this week? The moon. What is this? The moon. The emotions of the election, the outrage. Xi Jinping. I'm getting nothing really strong, so I think it's just, is this for we the people of the United States of America? Oh, this is our reactions to stuff that's happening this week. Okay, you guys, remember, what are you going to do this week? If you're overwhelmed, have a plan. If you're upset, have a plan. I suggest, and this is just a recommendation, stay away from social media. Okay. Oh, world and money. Okay, let's check in with Ivanka. Ivanka, what are your plans this week? What are you working on? What's really important to you? Because it seems like a big week, you know, with the Robert Mueller. Oh, Lord, I hope that's Wednesday. That just feels so far away right now. But Ivanka, been kind of quiet lately. The throw I did on Donald this weekend, he is concerned about you. I think he knows that you kind of are not on his side anymore. But, so, what's on your mind for this week? Oh, boy, a lot? Do you have a lot? I think you do. Okay, we'll go a little slower. I'm just too excited right now. Okay, Ivanka. We'll keep this one out. I think you want to keep the upper hand on this. Is this Facebook? And it could be... Oh, that's a little bit more Facebooky than I expected. Okay, cut the... what's a signifier for Ivanka? Try again, Ivanka. Signifier, the focus. What is it this week? You have a secret. Okay, we're going to clarify that right now. Ivanka, what's your secret? What is the secret that you're focused on for this week? Your secret is... Okay, let's go through Seven of Cups, King of Pentacles, the World, the Fool, Seven of Cups. Is this gaslighting or is this child trafficking? Does this have to do with the election? No, this is more about trafficking, I think. Some election, but more because this is Epstein. Okay. Has some election in it, but this just definitely has a different feel than what I have from Donald and Nancy and Jared so far. What's covering this? What's covering this secret? 10 Swords, your dad. What's the challenge? The offers he's been making you. Has he been offering you on? Yes, he's been offering her on every single one of those. At the base of this is messages, you know, talking abroad, trying to get information, asking for information. What's crowning this is the election, her treason, this whole operation with children and families, maybe, in the past. Okay, Seven of Cups. I need some more clarifiers because this feels like it could go either way. Wow, does she have a lot on her mind this week? She has really closed up. Money laundering, bribes, 4-6 Wands mob, and the elections. Wow, come on. Heartbreak over that election. The Devil. Okay, so this is more election related, but there's just so much coming out. Okay, what's to come from all of this, Ivanka? The White House. It's all about the White House. How do people see you right now? You're giving up information about data, about money, valuable information. You're giving all that up. People are asking for it, and you're giving it. The environment is about the election. Wow. She is really focused on this. Usually I kind of get a this, a little bit this, a little bit. This has depth. This has much more depth than I've felt from her in the past. What do you hope happens this week, Ivanka? Your dad and his money. Ooh. What do you fear? You fear Trump, Putin, and your role in all of this. The ideal thing for you this week would be what? To look at all your options, maybe? To look at everything you have, be able to keep what you have? To consider sharing more information? Or are you proud to hand over what you have? You would like them to use what you've given. Okay, I understand. I got it. And so what's to come this week for Ivanka? Oh my God, that's the same that Jared had for the future. What's to come this week? And his was about is this about the nation? What's to come? I can't get a pulse on this. It's just so bad. Okay. Strength. She has some strength underneath. Or is it, I see that with the Republican Party. Okay. What are we doing on time? You know what? I'm going to finish these two, and then I think I'm going to go on to Attorney General Bill Barr. And my flipper, who I think I can reveal now, is Mike Pence. Yay.